Many of you may not know, but I am a huge fan of movies and have always been. I've gone to movies my entire life. For me, it started back in 1977 when Star Wars came out. I was a poor kid living in Portland, Oregon. My brother and I don't know how many times we snuck into it. I remember very clearly at about 8 years old, the usher letting me sit in the aisle, actually on the ground in the aisle, he and I, to watch Star Wars because every seat was packed. It was like nothing we had ever seen before. That started my love affair with movies that continues to this day, somewhat begrudgingly, though, as movies have become almost unwatchable. Every now and then, something happens in the movie theaters that I think needs to be paid attention to and called out. Sometimes you see a movie that's so extraordinary that you want to get as many people as you can to go out and see the movie. And that movie that I saw last night is called Sound of Freedom. Now, Indiana Jones 5 came out on last Thursday or Friday, had a 5-day run up, and on July 4th, they released this small $15 million Sound of Freedom. Indiana Jones, I believe, had a $300 million budget. On July 4th, this small movie, Sound of Freedom, beat Indiana Jones on July 4th for sales, even though it's in 2,000 theaters as opposed to, I believe, Indy's in like 4,500 theaters. So, and I think the reason for that, at least for me, the theater I saw it in was packed, and it was a huge theater. One of these theaters holds 1,500 people, and it was packed. And in fact, we had to pick a different theater and a different movie time, which hardly ever happens anymore these days, because all of the theaters here in Tennessee where I live were full. This movie is important, and I want to encourage everybody to go see this movie, The Sound of Freedom. It's rated PG-13. It's got a lot of kind of innuendo, but it doesn't really come right out and talk about the subject matter. It's important. It's a movie that we should all see. I have paid forward somewhat by buying $100 worth of tickets. They have a program where you can buy tickets that just go out into the ether, and people can either get them or they cannot, and they can go see the movie on somebody else. And I've done that. There's no way to track it. I just bought them because I think that this movie is one that should be out there and more people need to see. It's a tough subject, but there are heroes, there are antagonists, and there are protagonists. A lot of people in the theater were crying. It's a little difficult movie to watch, but as opposed to watching anything that comes out today, like The Flash or any of these other superhero movies, where you're entertained and then you walk out the door and you go on to the next thing, this thing you will continue to talk about. It will make you think. It will make you pay attention. You won't believe what you'll learn. You won't imagine what you'll watch. It's that important. Opportunities are everywhere. You got to go get them. Go see Sound of Freedom, please.